Welcome to Pick Up and Deliver, the podcast where I pick up my audio recorder as I head out for a walk and deliver an episode to you while I stroll around. I'm Brendan Riley. Well, good morning, listeners. It is a lovely snowy Thursday here in suburban Chicago. And I am out for a walk, enjoying the bright sun, even though it is snowy. And I thought I'd talk to you about games a little bit. Before I start, there will be a brief commercial interruption in this episode because my design partner and I, Rob, are doing our annual March Mayhem tournament right now, which is a 3 times a week podcast in which we pit popular games against one another in a tournament to see which game is the best game. If you aren't over on Twitter following the Twitter account Game Fight Show, please do so and vote in our 3 times weekly polls to help determine which game comes out on top, because that's how we determine it, by the votes. So if you listen to this podcast, it would mean a lot to me if you would listen to that one as well. So sometime during this episode, I will put in a little commercial for that, and that's going to be here regularly during the Pick Up and Deliver episodes that will happen this year, or during the March Mayhem tournament. All right, on to the show. So this week, or today, I have had a chance to play a few new games. It's been kind of a slow game month thus far here in February, but I have had a chance to play a few games. So it's time for everyone's favorite quick impressions review segment, Shooting from the Hip Triple Shot. Today I'm going to talk about 3 games that I've had a chance to play in person on a table, so that's exciting. First up is a new Kickstarter arrival from Board Game Design Lab host Gabe Barrett. His recent Kickstarter for his two games, Hunted, just delivered. Hunted is a solo or co-op game, it's really a solo game, in which you play an individual being hunted by other scary things, and you're trying to escape them. The 2 Hunted games that have come out so far, one of them is called Hunted Incident at Kobayashi Tower, and one of them is called Hunted Mining Colony 415. Both of these have very strong reminiscences to popular films. In the case of Kobayashi Tower, it's clearly not Die Hard, and in the case of Mining Colony 415, it's clearly not Alien, or Aliens, I guess. So the idea is that you have a scenario that you will go through to try and escape the thing that's hunting you. The art style in each of these is sort of stylized cartoons with monochromatic art. So the Kobayashi Tower one is a sort of blue-hued game, and Hunted is orange-hued. Works pretty well. The design looks nice. It's a fun, relatively challenging solo game. In Alien, and the Alien one, Mining Colony 415, you play a group of colonial marines who have come in to rescue or to find out what's going on at this colony where people have stopped responding to transmissions. Uh-oh! It turns out there are aliens there that have been incubating themselves inside the humans and resulting in more aliens running around. By the time you figure this out, you realize you have to get back to your shuttle and get out of there. And so the game is getting back to your shuttle and losing as few crew members as you can. That's kind of the overall goal. The game has a couple interesting mechanisms. There is a test mechanism where you have this alien card that's got a circle on it that represents the area that you can hit the alien if you shoot at it. And the idea is whenever you have to do a test, you're going to toss a token into the box of the game, which has the alien card in the bottom of the box. And if you get the token into or touching the circle, then you succeed at the test. I found it was pretty easy to do, so I may be playing on hard in future. I also discovered that I was misplaying one of the rules that resulted in me taking more tests than I needed to. So that part is, or using up more time than you need to, because the primary mechanism, there are 2. You have health points and you have time. If you take more than 20 time, you lose because the aliens overrun your shuttle, or else the mining colony blows up or something. Or if you get killed, of course, you lose. I haven't tried the Kobayashi Tower yet one, but I'm excited to, and I'm looking forward to playing this some more. So that's Hunted by Gabe Barrett. Second game I want to talk about was a Kickstarter, but I did not get it from Kickstarter. I bought it from Miniature Market. This is The School of Sorcery from Steve Finn. School of Sorcery is a 2-player game about being wizards at Hogwarts, only you're not actually wizards at Hogwarts. It's, pig pimples or something. So you play students in the School of Wizardry, and you're trying to earn grades by accomplishing these spells and acquiring trophies. The way the game goes, you have a number of points that you can allocate onto resources on the board, and you do that based on dice you rolled. And if you and the other person are competing for resources, then the person who put the most on gets the thing. Otherwise, you take the card that you're trying to get from the board, and the game ends, and you find out whether you got points. It's a relatively simple set collection game with some interesting choices to make. There's a neat mechanism where you can put your tokens onto one of the cards, the portal, that allows you to then move the tokens later. So there is some element of delaying your choice in order to overturn the other person's choice. We've only played it once so far, but so far it's a good game, and I'm looking forward to playing it some more. The art is fine, nothing incredible, but passable and well done. There's a mix of characters of different types and icons for equipment and that sort of thing. It looks like it will have some valuable play later, but I'm glad I didn't pay full retail. I paid half price, I think, at Miniature Market, and that feels like about right. For $10, it was worth giving a try. That's School of Sorcery from Dr. Finn's Games.
Greetings to all my groovy geeks and glorious gamers. The long wait is almost over because March Mayhem 2021 is nearly upon us. Yes, February 15th will no longer be remembered as the day that Socrates was sentenced to death for impiety. It will be remembered as the kickoff date for Game Fight's 2021 March Mayhem Tournament, brought to you by Rattlebox Games. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 6 long weeks, we will bring you the hot heat that can only be generated by putting 32 of the greatest board games of all time up against one another in a board game Battle Royale. Circle March 27th on your calendar in red Sharpie so you don't forget to join us for our live Finale Spectacular. Where we will discover which game will come out on top. Set your podcatchers to stun as we bring you all of the action, and head over to @GameFightShow on Twitter to vote for your favorite games. This is Rob Huber for Brendan Riley, Game Fight Show, Rattlebox Games, saying, I'll see you on the 15th.
All right, the third game that I want to mention today is from Rob Kramer at, can't remember the name of the game company, and this is called the Grand Carnival. I heard about this game on the Dice Tower, as Z Garcia called it his favorite game of the year. The Grand Carnival is an interesting tile placement worker movement game in which you are balancing your desire to set up your carnival with the need to move your people through your carnival and the way you score the carnival at the end. It's got an interesting action selection mechanism in which you have 5 workers. They're on these spaces numbered 1 through 5. At the end of your turn, or on your turn, you're going to remove one of the workers from one of those spaces and do an action. And the power of the action comes from the space you removed your worker from. So if you remove your worker from the 1 space, you can take one of the tiles from the 1 pile, which is face down, so you don't know what you're going to get. Or you can take one of the attractions that has 1 square, or you can move one of your visitors in your park 1 space. By contrast, if you take the worker from the 5 spot, the attraction you take could have up to 5 squares. You get your choice of the whole market of tiles that you could take, or you can move one of your visitors 5 spaces on your board. The game has several different scoring mechanisms which allow you to mix and match your choices as you're taking things. And the complication of which number you take your worker off of, determining how powerful the action is a really nice, crunchy decision inside a relatively simple package. Probably the most exceptional thing about Grand Carnival is the art style. What could best be described as 1930s cartoons, Fleischer Brothers, old Merry Melodies kind of style, or for younger folks, Cuphead animation is probably the closest thing that we've seen lately. It's this sort of goofy, bendy style with big eyes. Think about like Betty Boop, the way that her face is drawn fits this animation, this style. And so the art looks like a 1930s carnival with characters from a variety of different backgrounds, a nice diversity of characters, but all drawn in this antiquated but very cute style, which gives the whole game a really nice aesthetic. And I mean, that's the part that pushes it over the top for me into a really interesting game. Is not only are the choices fun as you're deciding between your different options for developing your carnival, but also the game just looks really nice. That said, though, it could be a little more vibrant. The colors are a little muted, which fits the color palette of the era, but feels like a limited choice to me. There are lots of cute little meeples in the game, or little wooden pieces in different shapes. So like each player color has its own shape of piece. And there are these carnival barkers, and then there are these special powers that you can get if you're the first one to achieve a particular condition on your board. So there's a lot of different stuff going on within the game that gives the choices a variety of consequences and makes for deeper play than would initially be seen based on the initial idea of the game. All in all, Grand Carnival, strongly recommend. Well worth a play if you get a chance. It's a little on the spendy side for what you get, but really well worth it. An excellent game. The Grand Carnival from designer Rob Kramer and Uproarious Games, I believe, is the publisher. Well, those are 3 games that I got to try. I hope that you've enjoyed it. What have you been playing lately? Pop over to Board Game Geek Guild 3269 and let me know there. Join in the conversation. You can reach out to me on Twitter at rattleboxgames.com. You can okay, I'm going that way, but oh, you're going this way, I bet.
I'm the other way.
Okay. Reach out to me at Rattlebox Games. You can email me, Brendan at Rattlebox Games. On Board Game Geek, I'm Wombat929. Please do also considering subscribing to the Game Fight Show podcast and joining us over on Twitter, where we're posting polls every other day, matching up games against other games to determine which game is the best game. You can do your part to vote, and frankly, we don't have a ton of people listening right now, so your vote really matters. It could swing the whole thing. So head over there to Game Fight Show on Twitter and join us. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks for joining me today. I hope your next walk is as pleasant as mine was. Bye-bye.
Brought to you by Rattlebox Games.